Shiloh Sanders has been cut, and a lot of people, especially on Black Twitter, think that the cut was racist. Look, I'm just going to put this out there before I end the video. A lot of these people, not specifically on Black Twitter, but a lot of these conspiracy theory people, the lengths that they go to and the hoops that they jump through, the conclusions that they presume, it is astonishing to me. It's not one thing where they're just kind of, I think, even though this is unlikely, I'm going to connect the dots. They connect 27 different dots in different zip codes in different countries. I can't even keep track with some of these conspiracy theories that these people are getting into. Now, Shiloh Sanders was cut because he's an undrafted free agent, and 97% of undrafted free agents get cut. Look, that's just the reality of being an undrafted free agent. The team doesn't have the roster space for you, and I mean it's as simple as that. Whether or not he got into the fight with the Bills tight end, it's completely irrelevant. Look, if you are going to be an undrafted player and make a football team, you're gonna have to be perfect, and he wasn't perfect. He was okay. And then he swung at somebody and got a 15-yard penalty. And look, it's unfortunate. Football's not fair. Professional sports are not fair. If the team has nothing tied to you, if they have no draft capital and no money tied to you, and you get a DUI, if you punch somebody, if you get a stupid penalty, you're gone. Look, it's already tough enough to make it as a 7th-round pick, a 6th-round pick, an undrafted guy. If you do anything stupid, if you argue with the coach, you're gone. We can't deal with you. You're not talented enough to make it on this team. And it is unfortunate. Look, the Bills player, after the whistle, was pushing him, and he retaliated. That's just the nature of sports. A lot of times the second guy is going to get got. Whether or not you think that's fair, whether or not you think both should be ejected, look, I don't really care. That's the reality of how sports have been called for a while. Some guy after the whistle, if you remember LeBron against Draymond Green in the 2016 finals, he was antagonizing Draymond, he was antagonizing him, and then Draymond hit him, and Draymond gets suspended. That's just how sports work. Look, the person that retaliates, they usually get caught. It's unfortunate. And these people saying that's racist and that, the NFL wants to get back at Deon Sanders because he's a confident black male. What do you think the NFL and NBA are? They're professional sporting leagues with 70% rich, confident black men. What are we even talking about? These leagues aren't segregated. They're majority black in a minority black country. And the vast majority of these athletes are extremely confident and cocky because they're at the top of their game, as they should be. So to say that people don't like arrogance from only black people, look, if you are going to barely be making a roster, if you're going to be a backup quarterback, we're going to talk about Shedeur in a second because he ties into this. If you're going to be a backup, if you're going to be barely making the roster, you can't be making noise. If you're a star player, if you're a star quarterback, if you're a star wide receiver, if you're a star cornerback or pass rush, you can do a lot. Myles Garrett a couple years ago almost killed somebody. He ripped his helmet off and swung it at him. He just got caught speeding. But he's a star player. And when you're a star football player and the team has invested a lot into you, you can kind of do whatever you want. Is it fair? Probably not. But there isn't this vendetta against black men. I don't. If you go on Black Twitter, you're going to see hundreds and thousands of people talking about how the NFL is racist and they're trying to put the black man down. Now, in terms of Shedeur Sanders, who has not been cut, which should kind of prove that there isn't this backroom deal to cut the Sanders to prove Deon needs to shut up. Look, Shedeur is a 5th-round draft pick in a draft class where they took a guy in the 3rd round, while they also have Deshaun Watson, who they're paying $40 million per year, while they also have Joe Flacco, who's a more proven guy. They're not. This isn't some sort of. I don't even know what people are expecting here. He's a 5th-round draft pick. He's not going to start, at least not right off the bat. Maybe if there's some injuries, he might get a start later down the road this season. He's a 5th-round draft pick. Him not starting does not make the NFL racist. The starting quarterback is black. Deshaun Watson is black. I really don't get how these people, anything that goes against their narrative, they just completely ignore. They just don't care. Even though Deshaun Watson is the highest paid player, and then Myles Garrett, who's also black, is the 2nd highest paid player, they don't even care about that. Shedeur Sanders, it doesn't get a start. I mean, 5th-round quarterbacks never get a start. I can't think other, Dak Prescott was a fourth-round quarterback, and because of an injury, he got a start. But I can't think of any fifth-round quarterback getting the start off the bat. I mean, it's just completely absurd. And anybody saying that, oh, they don't like him because he has an attitude and he has swagger. He's a backup quarterback. Look, no NFL coach wants a backup quarterback to be making any noise. That's the same thing with Cam Newton. I mean, it's like when he was the starter, it was okay to make noise and be dramatic and be obnoxious. When you're the backup quarterback, look, we just need you to zip it. We can't have you. It's kind of the same thing as Tim Tebow. And it's not to say that these people are bad people or pushing for anything bad. Tim Tebow, Colin Kaepernick, these guys all ran in the same issue. If you're going to be the backup quarterback, you need to zip it. Look, we can't have drama coming out of the backup quarterback room because you're doing something political or you're doing something religious. If you're not going to be a star player in the NFL, and that applies to any other sporting league, you can't be having drama off the field or on the field or arguing people or punching people or getting DUIs. You need to be squeaky clean, and that's just the reality of it.